going to fix up the volume just a little bit. You'll have to let me know if that's too loud. When I listened to the recording from the video stream last week on YouTube, the music was much louder than it sounds to me right now, but it's also, and the voice was actually a lot quieter. So if you're watching, please let us know what you think. Sorry for my rather drunken scrolling here. It's okay. Not live yet. Okay. So I started streaming. I see my video on the preview here on my computer window, but I'm not getting any sound at all. Let's try that. And then the other thing I want to do is actually I guess that'll work. All right. So we're still hanging out waiting just to see if anybody else shows up. Let me turn my headset audio up so I can hear the music a little more, help kind of get into the mindset. It is now 6:01. We'll be getting started momentarily. It says I'm still offline, huh? That's weird because when I'm logged on the desktop and I'm watching the video right now. All right, well. Yep. 11 minutes ago. Let me try checking on my phone. All right, we are just kind of testing out. Sorry, I didn't mean to initiate a Volin dialogue. Just testing the audio real quick. So I saw that chat from Kashura. Okay, so when I logged in on the app, I definitely heard my voice. The game audio is a different question. So if you're watching / listening, let us know if you can't hear the game, and I will do what I can to adjust. No, I'm not. I checked on the Twitch app on my phone and on the website. That's really weird. Well, if you are trying to watch this and it says I'm offline, it's a liar. Don't believe it. Because I'm streaming here. right? This is my current video. And then I've also got, I really hate that it does that. There we go. And then in the video preview right here. So were you trying to do it on your phone in the browser?
No, on my tablet. And it should have worked in the browser.
That's very strange. All right, well.
And can you just click on that on the OBS? I just want to make sure that
Yeah.
it's not the encoding is not. It should be fine.
Yeah, the encoding seems like it's fine. I've noticed on mobile devices it doesn't always work so hot, so it might just be that that's the problem. All right, well, we will go ahead and get started. Just doing a little bit of troubleshooting, which is always important for us, newbie streamers. One of the things we said we were going to do at the end of the last episode is we were going to change the names of all of our soldiers to something a little bit easier to remember. So I've gone ahead and done that. I don't remember their original names anymore, but we now have Carol Danvers as a gunner, Diana Prince as an assault, Lucas Bishop as an engineer, Hank McCoy, PFC's Hank McCoy, Alex Summers, Sean Cassidy, Roy Harper, Bruce Wayne, Scott Summers, Jennifer Walters, Janet Van Dyne, Jean Grey, Remy LeBeau, Pyotr Rasputin, Kitty Pryde, Natasha Romanova, Clint Barton, Tony Stark, Sam Wilson, Hal Jordan, Steve Rogers, Stephen Strange, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Betsy Braddock, Bobby Morse, and Kamala Khan. Oh, and sorry, Matt Murdock, Nathaniel Summers, Lorna Dane, Helena Bertinelli, Selena Kyle, and then we've got Lance Corporal Dinah Lance, Rocketeer, Specialist Kurt Wagner, Engineer, Specialist Barbara Gordon, Infantry, Specialist Ted Cord, Sniper, Specialist Tyrone Johnson, Scout, and Specialist Tandy Bowen, Medic. Oh, and there's another one, Specialist Rachel Layton. So, we've got a number of superheroic personas showing up in the game here. It's just a lot easier for me to keep track of these names and know who I want to bring on various missions. So there we go. Okay. So it looks like there was an issue with having to reload Twitch. So thank you for testing that. I appreciate it. All right. So that is our new, quote-unquote, new roster that we're going to be working with. So let's get back to mission control. I believe we had a UFO crash site. And I want to see, are we going to get any of our higher ranked people back in that 35 hours? No, we're going to be just shy of getting Wagner and Bowen back. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to launch. And we're going to go take out this scout. We had already loaded out a squad here. So we've got Specialist Danvers, Specialist Bishop, and Specialist Prince, along with PFC's Wilson, Rogers, and Cassidy. So they're going to come out with us, and we are hopefully going to take out this UFO, bring back some alloys, things like that. We're going to try to grab the meld, but we're not going to make it a huge priority. We want to make sure our people come back alive, kind of level up our PFCs if we can, and if we get really lucky, level up one or two of our specialists as well. So we've got some flashbangs. We've got a lot of what are these called? Anti-personnel grenades. We've got armor on everybody. We've got Prince, who will never panic. And then, of course, we've got Danvers, who has suppression and the laser sight, so she's a little bit more accurate. So there we go. Let's go ahead and launch and get to it. Begin assault. All right, so I love how quickly this computer loads the missions. You can probably hear my cat in the background getting fed. . My cat acts like we've never fed him every time we feed him. All right, so this is one of those maps that I am always kind of unsure if I enjoy or not. It's got a lot of dynamic terrain. For instance, this edge that we've started on has this great little kind of hilltop. It's got some half cover positions. You can kind of, advance along here if you want to try to avoid activating in the center. But it also has a tendency to have enemies right here and enemies over here. Literally, they'll be in a flanking position almost immediately. And the major problem is that we run into is not having good cover in from this direction, so from the upper right hand corner of the screen. So if we do activate there on accident, we kind of have to kill the enemy with fire as quickly as possible, because otherwise they are able to kind of get around and flank us really easily, because as you can see, these logs and these rock ledges are facing towards the other corner. So it's always kind of a pain to deal with. Not impossible, just mildly frustrating. So we're going to take and we're going to try to we're going to scout a little bit to the upper right, just because I want to know if we're dealing with anything right there. Okay, we're not. So we're not going to push our. Oh, although you can. I should mention you can see the UFO right here. So that obviously introduces a bit of a dilemma, because we could very easily run into a situation where the outsider is kind of hanging out on his little patio right here, kicking back, sipping a mimosa. And then he sees us like roll up onto his lawn, and he grabs his little space shotgun and comes after us. So we have to be careful about not activating the outsider here if we can, if it's even an option. So I sent Rogers over here to scout out just a little bit. Didn't activate anything, so that's fine. We're gonna bring Wilson. This is oddly appropriate if you're a comic book fan. We're gonna have Rogers and Wilson kind of hang out right there, and then we'll bring everybody else. They'll be a little bit further back, but we'll put them on Overwatch. We're not gonna advance them past that position, because we really do not want to activate anything at this point if we can avoid it. So Bishop we'll put right here. Okay. And then we're just going to hang out here. Now we don't yeah, Prince, you're not going to get any good shots from back there, but that's fine. Well, actually, let's just hunker you down. Let's not waste the ammo. You'll have to excuse me if I sound a little bit congested. I'm getting over a really nasty cold for the weekend, so apologies for that. Luckily, my wife brought me some very delicious homemade iced tea, so bound to cure what ails you. I really want to pick up some meld. We really are going to need to start stockpiling that quickly, but not worth getting anybody killed. So I'm just going to hop Rogers over this little ramp. Okay, perfect. And we're just going to advance along here for the moment. It doesn't make great use of the high ground here, but I mean, really, it's tough to make use of that high ground unless you want to activate in this direction, which again carries the risk of activating within the UFO. So we're just going to hang out and do what we're doing here. All right, we'll bring Cassidy down. And we're going to kind of just keep everybody hanging out together. There's no sense in separating anybody just yet. It's not going to help matters. And let's bring Prince down. Now she, as an assault, she doesn't have great movement. So I'm just gonna dash her up so that she's kind of able to get involved here. And we're gonna overwatch everybody. So if a drone or a sectoid or whatever happens to patrol into us, we're ready for it. So we've got noise coming from the upper left corner, which is not unexpected. It's also where the meld is. How much do we want meld? You know what? We can make a move for some meld. Let's do this. We're gonna bring Wilson up in front of this log. Okay, that's a good spot. We're gonna do the same thing with Cassidy. and with Rogers. Now, I mentioned before, I think it was in the last episode, that you can kind of get away with leaving some of your people out in the open, just because they will typically not activate. Like, the enemies typically won't attack you when they're activated. So if they path into us and we are out of cover, it's not as big a deal as it could be. That's not to say it's like a foolproof plan, because I do have Itchy Trigger Tentacle on as one of the second wave options. But as Lord Farquaad once said, some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. No, I'm kidding. I don't want anybody to die if at all possible. But it's a risk I'm willing to take at the very least. Because, like I said, we need that meld sooner rather than later. Because while we won't be using the meld right away, it is in high demand late game. All right. So Danvers manages to pull a little bit of attention. That's fine, although they're slightly out of range, which is more than vaguely annoying. Let's get Wilson up here, and at least one of those guys left himself flanked, but we may not be able to take advantage of the situation, just because of the way they scattered. They went just out of sight range. So what we're going to do is we are going to move people. We're going to move people so that we're in slightly better positions. Hopefully, when they come running at us, we're able to poke them with bullets. I'm pretty sure that's the official terminology, right? I was really hoping that by moving Wilson to the left side of that rock, we would be able to get a decent, we'd be able to get a decent flank, but no such luck. All right, so that's 2 misses. That's unfortunate. Oh, he's out in the middle of nowhere, and he's decided he's going to rethink that strategy. Nobody else can see him. That's annoying. You can't suppress Danvers. Danvers is the one that suppresses you. Clearly, you did not get the memo. Now, I could run and gun Prince all the way up here, but that's a really bad idea, because I can guarantee you, if I do that, that outsider is going to be sitting right along this sight line. He's going to see her, and he's going to flank her. So, what I could do is I could run her. Is that going to give me cover of any kind? No. I mean, I could theoretically run her to here. That's not a bad spot. It's not necessarily a great spot, but it's not a bad spot. So, do I want to do something that reckless in the very first turn? Well, very first combat that we've seen in this particular mission? Probably not. Okay, so I have to figure out how I want to handle that situation. Let's move people up. So Cassidy, 40% isn't amazing. What, Bishop, what is your... you've got a decent aim, 69. Rogers, what are we looking at, 67? All right. Let's bring Bishop up over here. He's got a 45% chance. We're going to see if Bishop can't free up Danvers here. Nope. No such luck. That's all right. Cassidy, what can you do? Kind of the same thing. Okay. 222. So in that case, what we're going to do is we're going to have Wilson take a shot at this flank guy, 72%. Keep a tally. 70s and above, ladies and gentlemen. Keep a tally. So what are we going to do? We're going to run and gun. And we are going to bring Prince up here to this full cover spot. Okay, so she's flanking this guy. 61%. All right, there we go. And that clears Prince up so that that clears not Prince. What's her name? This lady that I got, Danvers. Clears Danvers up. Oh, dang it, she's 1 tile shy. That's mildly frustrating. All right. So we're going to move Danvers up on Overwatch and Rogers up on Overwatch. Hopefully this guy's partner getting filleted by a shotgun will prevent him from moving forward to flank Prince. Okay, yeah, he's gonna fall back a little. That's perfect. Okay, so we forced him back. We've kind of cleared this left flank a little bit so we can try to grab that meld. Now, as you may or may not have noticed, there's more meld in the other direction. It's kind of the way it always works. Can't really avoid it. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring Wilson and Prince up here to grab this meld, cover each other. I am going to start kind of wheeling back here a little bit just to see if we can't snag that meld in the other direction. It's not, priority number 1, but it's kind of priority like number 1.5. So I'm going to bring Cassidy over here as well. It's only that one sectoid that's activated on this side, so as long as we're super careful, we don't have to worry about the outsider. I'm going to bring Danvers to this side so we can start getting a little team to move off to their upper right corner and hopefully collect an additional meld canister. And of course, there are bad guys in that direction, but we knew that, let's be honest. We weren't under any delusions otherwise. I want to move Prince to this side of the meld canister. Hey, there are those enemies that I was just talking about. So I'm going to move Prince back because I really don't want her over there. I'm also going to move... I'm actually not going to move Wilson or Cassidy just yet. I actually want to deal with the situation over here first. So I'm going to move Danvers to the end of the log. That is probably not the way I wanted that to go down. We found those aliens that were over in this direction. Let's bring Bishop down here. And what can you make happen with a lovely explosive? And you could probably get one of them. So let's... okay. Rogers? What have you got? Let's see if you can't take this guy out for me, Rogers. Yeah, that was probably guaranteed not to work. Now, I don't want to bring Wilson to this side of the cover, because if he leans out or even looks over it, he's got a good line of sight into the UFO. I could theoretically bring him here, and I don't think that would activate anything in the UFO. And in fact, if I bring him to here, that might actually flank one of those little sectoids. Ah, it didn't flank him. Okay, well, that's... I was hoping he'd get a flank on this guy, but it looks like he's probably one tile too short. I guess I should have moved him to here. Let's see. Let's bring Cassidy here. Maybe that'll give him a flank. No, it doesn't even give him sight on anybody. We'll overwatch him. Wilson, I really would like to take one of these guys out. Yeah, well. So he's empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to suppress this dude. And I'm actually going to do something a little crazy with Bishop. I'm going to bring him over here to this full cover, see if I can't make better use of one of his grenades against a little mass of these guys. Because one needle grenade against that one sectoid, it wasn't directly underneath him, so it wasn't guaranteed to kill him. And as a result, I would be wasting a grenade for not even killing somebody. Luckily, this sectoid wasn't very smart. I was expecting him to mind fray or panic me, but he didn't do that. Now, of course, when they take a 40-something% chance to shot, they're going to hit me. So that's really going to piss me off if it kills her. No, it didn't kill her, but two 40% shots in a row from the enemy did hit me. So go figure that on how the odds on that work. But I'm going to move bishop one closer. Okay, perfect. And then let's see what we can do with a grenade. So I'm going to land it right in the middle of all of them. It may not kill them, but it'll weaken all of them enough that a couple of grazing shots from the rest of my soldiers will kill them off. So or it could completely demolish them. I'm okay with that too. So that was Lucas Bishop scoring 3 kills in one go. Thank you, sir. Ooh, I do not want to bring him there. I do, however, want to bring him. Well, I don't know that I want to do that either. All right, so you have to move back actually because. Prince, let's bring you back to the meld canister. We know that we've got one more sectoid that went in this side of the UFO, so I'm gonna overwatch her there. I'm gonna move Wilson back to the spot she was in because he needs to reload. He won't really be very useful until I do that. I don't want to bring Cassidy out to this piece of rubble because, like I said, you know, enemy or the outsider in the UFO. We do not want to activate him if we can avoid it. So, ugh, she's down to 2 health. That's so aggravating. Pardon me a moment. And we're back. Sorry about that. Now, if I put Danvers here, that still could activate the guy, and I really would rather avoid it. So, Rogers, let's bring you up just a little bit. 52%. Come on. Classic. Cassidy, what can you do from this position? 61%. Come on. There we go. Oof. All right, so let's reload her because we're going to need her to suppress when the time comes. So that was 2, 4, 6 sectoids. I'm pretty sure that means we are looking at the UFO being relatively clear. Actually, sorry, that was 6 sectoids activated, only 5 killed. So we want to look out for that other sectoid, and then of course the outsider inside the UFO. And you'll have to excuse me, my Xcom decided to pause. I mentioned, I think in the last episode, that for whatever reason, XCOM Long War for me likes to take an extended break whenever it does the autosave. So, nothing to worry about. Everything's fine. It's just a weird quirk of the game. So, I don't want to move her. I don't want to move Prince to this side of the meld canister because if she leans this way, it kind of gives her a line of sight into this part of the UFO, and it's possible the outsider is towards the back of it. So rather than taking any chances, I'm just going to continue to overwatch her. I will move. I will move Wilson to this end of the rubble. And that was apparently a mistake because somehow the sectoid can see through that wall. So, well, we found him. So now I'm going to move him to this position because now he's wounded. And let's see. Let's get Cassidy up onto the higher ground behind this half cover. Reload him. And we're gonna keep Bishop there because if that sectoid is in like right inside the entrance to the UFO, he could come towards Bishop. In which case, keeping him on Overwatch could be really beneficial. So we'll see what happens. I was not expecting anybody inside the UFO to have a line of sight on that particular approach. So that was my my mistake, clearly. Let's run Cassidy to this position. And we're going to start bringing people... I don't want to do that with her. Bishop, let's move over. Rogers, I'm going to bring you up and put you on position, or behind this full cover position. Overwatch you. We don't see you. Now that's mildly concerning because this sectoid may have run in here, hoping to come to this full cover position and flank me. On its next turn. So I'm actually going to move back. Kind of playing cat and mouse with a stupid sectoid here. And then I'm going to move Danvers down. Not a great position. Hoping it won't be able to do the thing where the computer magically knows exactly where to go to avoid all of my Overwatch shots. But it's a cliche for a reason. Now I can't really move in without activating that outsider most likely. So I'm going to see if I can't bring Bishop and Rogers around, try to locate some of that meld, while also kind of setting myself up for a decent flank position here. So I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive with these two, looking for the meld than I probably ought to be, but I'm sure it'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? All right, I took that chance and I moved Prince around to that side of the meld. Turned out to be okay, so I'm happy with that choice. Let's bring Wilson back. Okay. We're gonna bring Cassidy back as well. They've got those assault carbines, so they're gonna be more effective kind of long range anyways. And I'm gonna bring Danvers way back. I want her to be kind of on the back line so she can suppress if need be. I really don't want her anywhere near the front line fighting at this point because she took those two 40% shots at the beginning of the mission. So now if I move him to here, it's half cover, but he should be out of view of the doorway due to that line of sight with that log. And I have no idea where those meld canisters are now. I'd love it if they gave me the noise indicator for them. All right, so I heard some little sectoid feet flapping around. We'll figure out where they are in a second, I'm sure, once we activate that. I think I heard meld canister expire. All right, well, we gave it a try. We're not gonna push our luck. Oh, hey, there he is. Rogers, what do you say? You wanna? There we go. All right, well that takes care of that. I'm a little bit more confident moving everybody up against this solid wall and hopefully using that to block line of sight to my soldiers. And I do not want you to go that direction. I don't want you to go that direction either. There we go. Go there. Now Wilson is of course wounded, but he does have a flashbang, so he's still a valuable member of the team here. So we're gonna bring Wilson and Cassidy up here. They've got flashbangs. We're gonna bring Danvers up so she can suppress, and we're basically gonna count on suppression and flashbang to keep this guy pinned, this outsider, once we activate him, so that we can get in some decent flanking positions, maybe even a good anti-personnel grenade if we can manage it. We're gonna make sure everybody is reloaded while we've got a free turn to do so. Okay. And then Danvers up. Okay. Great. So if she's looking in there and didn't activate anything, I'm pretty confident that the outsider's not... Well, he actually is probably like right in the central part of the band, like central band of the UFO. So I got to be careful about the way I'm going to move him up. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's be honest. I say I'm going to be careful with the way I move them up. I'll probably do something stupid, but we can pretend, can't we? So I'm going to put Cassidy with Danvers and Wilson with Prince. So we've got kind of the same amount of health on either side. Oh, perfect. So that tells us that the outsider is kind of in the back, kind of the furthest quadrant from us. That is pretty decent news because it means that we should be able to get Bishop and Rogers right up against this wall of the UFO without activating anything. Assuming I can get them to take the correct paths. Nope. So I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to run him up right behind Bishop. So they'll be in a good position to flank. Prince won't be, depending on how I activate. Well, I guess she'll be in a good position to flank if she uses running gun. So we're going to hang out, and we're going to tool our jets for one more turn. XCOM, and Long War especially, is definitely a game of patience, which is not a game that I win all the time. I'll be completely honest. I do definitely have my moments where I just say, "Yeah, forget it. This'll work. I'm sure it's going to work out fine." And spoiler alert, it does not always work out fine. So how do I want to activate this guy? It's a really tough call. So if I come here and activate him, he's got kind of two options. Well, he's got three options. He can either kind of run around for this full cover, this solid wall here, and I'd lose sight of him. That would give him the opportunity to kind of reposition, which would be bad for me. Because we wouldn't be able to get suppression on him, we wouldn't be able to get a flashbang on him. So that's one option. He could move forward to this half cover and just kind of hunker down here to trade shots. It wouldn't be smart of him, but he could do it, and this corner cover would be bad news for Prince, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Alternatively, you could come around this direction and try to use these solid walls of high cover, and that would change my approach just a little bit. So I don't want to use Prince. I want her to be able to react with the running gun. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Danvers in. Full cover. That activates. All right, so kind of sort of what I was afraid of. Let's get Cassidy over here. Cassidy, can you lay a flashbang grenade on this guy? Nowhere even close. So, luckily, we have a backup plan in the form of Steve Mother freaking Rogers. Rogers, we're going to come over here. You are going to let us borrow your flashbang grenade. So that's disoriented. We are then going to... Here's my concern. If I have her suppress, she's in an easily flankable position. Although he wouldn't be able to really move far enough to flank her, so we're going to do it. I'm going to suppress. He's in half cover. We will be able to flank him, although we won't this turn, because if we flank him, it prompts him to move, and if he does move and we miss the Overwatch shot, it could go really badly. So we're going to get him over here. I'm going to Overwatch there. I'm going to run Prince in. And then let's get Wilson in there as well. We're going to hunker Wilson down just because of his low health. And let's Overwatch Cassidy. We're kind of trying to convince him not to go anywhere. Okay. I know I said 1%, but I've missed plenty of 99 and 98% shots. I'm sure eventually one of these days the enemy will hit a 1% shot. So I'm going to move Danvers in. We're going to suppress again. There you you go. Stay where you're at. We are then going to move Bishop around. Use him to soften the outsider up just a little bit. In the immortal words of Will Smith, welcome to Earth. And Danvers, we're going to run and gun you. I'm actually going to move you there. And depending on how well this shot with the shotgun goes, we got a follow-up, but not necessary because... Thank you, Bradford. Summed it up nicely. All right, so not a perfect mission. I think, generally speaking, made all the right decisions. It was just a matter of the random number generator kind of conspiring against me again. But that's okay. Nobody died. We just got a few wounds, so it could be a lot worse. We didn't get ganged up on by drones, which is great because I get that a lot in that mission, where they show up from a direction where you don't have good cover and they just kind of tear you to pieces. So, all right, look at that. All of our PFCs got promoted. So, Rogers, it's recommending we make you a scout or a sniper. Your aim's not great, but your movement is really good. I actually might make you... I might make you an assault, actually, so just hold tight. Wilson, let's see, we've got, again, decent movement. Aim and health aren't the greatest. I might actually make Wilson a scout, so I'll hold on to him as well. And then Cassidy, another good movement, decent aim, decent health. You actually might make a decent infantry. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to commit to that. You're an infantry with a 67 aim. So I haven't gotten any infantry soldiers that have been just flat out amazing, but it's been pretty good. I apologize. I totally skipped right through the loot screen. Picked up some meld, some alloys. We've got a couple of UFO flight computers, or a flight computer and a power source that are damaged. So we're going to sell those off. Got a couple of intact UFO flight computers that we're going to hold on to because those are going to really come in handy later. But selling the damaged one gives us a nice, 45 space bucks to work with, so that's not too bad. Jump into the barracks, and we're going to promote... Let's see. Rogers, I think we determined that we wanted to make you an assault. Yeah, we want to make you an assault, because that movement's really good. Oh, and you got a bonus to health. Look at that. All right. I'm happy with that choice. I'm good with this. Let's see. We've also got Wilson. I think we said we were going to make him a scout. How many scouts do we have? We have one scout. So yeah, we're going to make Wilson a scout. Ooh, that's a nice, you got a mobility boost and a really nice aim boost, actually. So that's going to be good. He's going to be a long-range shooter once he gets leveled up a little bit. So I'm happy about that. And then we've got Leighton down here who's still wounded from a previous mission. Stats are pretty balanced across the board, so I don't know what I want to make her just yet. It looks like we are short. Well, we're not short. We could use another sniper, another rocketeer, another gunner, and another medic. I probably won't make her a medic. A gunner or a rocketeer would probably be my choice, which is good because that's what it's recommending we make her. But we'll make that decision when she actually comes off a sick bay, just because it's not as clear-cut a decision for me. All right, so we've got alien weaponry coming up as our research project in 10 days, a satellite being built, council report in 23 days. This early on, there's not much happening. What can we do here? We do need to get some... We need to get some power built. This is like terrible location of our steam generators. I didn't even look at this. How do I want to do this? I don't think I want to build the next whatchamacallit, the next access lift point just yet. What I'm going to do, I might just say forget thermo generators. I might go right from fission generators to Illyrium generators long term. Get a repair bay going. That would actually be good because that would pair next to the foundry. But I'm also going to need to get generators up and running. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start a couple of fission generators. Well, we're going to start one fission generator. That's all that we can afford at the moment. So that's at least kind of getting started, getting our base built out. We're probably going to just plunk down our generators here in this upper right-hand corner so I don't have to worry about building things and moving them around. We could build for the steam generators, but that's going to be really resource intensive early on for something that's not going to pay off for a while. So we'll probably just go standard fission generators across the top. Once we build the next access lift, we'll probably build maybe another couple rows or one more, depending on what we need power-wise. And then we'll start looking at Illyrium generators if we've unlocked all that research. So if not, then more fission generators, and then the next row will probably be Illyrium generators. And then who knows, maybe down along the bottom we'll build in a sauna, a pool, things like that, so we can be right next to all the generators, stay nice and warm, kind of like an indoor heated Olympic-sized pool. I'll see if Bradford can fit that into the budget. But anyways, keeping an eye on the chat because I know last time I forgot to do that. Feel free to holler at me if you're interested in having a witty banter. It may not seem like it, but I am capable of it. I just need someone to bounce things off of. So, Australia. Why? Well, you always lose one country kind of at the beginning of the campaign. So most likely there's an alien base there. That's fine. We'll hit it up later, and that'll be a nice little treasure trove of goodies once we get to it. So we're going to continue scanning, kind of hoping we don't hit too much in the way of activity. We didn't need to excavate anything else on this level, did we? Nope, we've got two open. So I guess that's the trade-off. The steam generators down here kind of stink for placement, but we've got a fair number of already excavated sites. So we're not going to be spending quite as many credits over the long term excavating. That's going to save us, I don't remember what the cost is. I think it's like 10 up here, 20, 30, 40. So that's going to save us 10, 30, 60, 70, 80, 100. That's going to save us like 180 credits over the long term. Not much, but I'm trying to look on the bright side here. So let's keep scanning. We've got a bunch of people returning to active duty from being in either in sick bay or on the fatigue roster. So it means we're going to have more options for our next mission. Alien weaponry, so close. That's going to let us build scopes, and that's going to take time in and of itself and resources. They're actually surprisingly expensive compared to the vanilla game, but still worthwhile to get. It's a nice little milestone. So let's scramble some interceptors. We've got a couple people here who already have a kill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send Bouncer up on defensive, see if I can't soften this scout up a little bit, and then I'm going to send one of my other interceptors that doesn't have a kill yet up to try to earn some XP. And if Brant does really well and shoots this guy down, then great. I'm not gonna argue that. Here we go. Come on. Come on. All right. He got one shot in. That's exactly what I wanted. He didn't take any damage, so that's even better. So we're going to send the wall up against this guy. And we're just going to go aggressive. He only needs to land one shot. So hopefully he can get one shot in, take him down. We don't have to stress about it. Come on. Fingers crossed, everybody. No, that is not the way I wanted that to go. Okay, well, the wall took one shot. That's not terrible. It's light damage, but managed to shoot it down. How is that UFO crashed in the middle of the ocean? I have to imagine that it landed on some small island or something like that, but it just looks a little weird. It kind of looks like it's floating in the water. So let's see what that did to the wall. That put him in the repair bay for 4 days. That's actually not bad. I'm more than willing to make that trade-off. So now we've got Brant and Wills that have a little bit of XP. They've both been promoted to lieutenant. Oh, and Beaker. That's right. I forgot about him. He shot down one of the Raider UFOs, I think. So we're doing good in the air game. We actually could stall for time because it's 35 hours before that UFO expires and 1 day before alien weaponry finishes. But since there's actually a lead time on how much on building the scopes, it actually wouldn't be of any benefit to us. So I'm not going to worry about wasting time. I'm just going to send people out. Let's go hit the UFO right now, and we'll pick up the pieces. So I'm tempted to pull out an all specialist squad in order to kind of rank up my A list. But I think I'm gonna kind of do a piecemeal again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring Barbara Gordon. Sorry, wrong position. I'm gonna bring Barbara Gordon as an infantry. She's gonna be our point person. I'm also going to bring Prince, because she's going to level up again, like, right away on this mission. And I like having a higher level assault for some of the missions that are coming up for, like, the bomb disposals and things like that. So, or, you know what? Having a higher level... this is a tough call, actually. I think I might go the Scout, just because they'll break Overwatch. He's got great mobility, great aim, so he's going to be really good for flanking and everything like that, and kind of finishing people off. So let's do that, and then we're going to bring out some PFCs. So Hank McCoy, decent movement, decent aim, normal health, nothing special, nothing to shake a stick at. We've got Roy Harper, kind of similar situation, so we'll bring him out. Kind of just scrolling and grabbing people at pseudo-random. Kitty Pride with 5 health, 14 movement, 65 aim. She's got potential for everything, so you're definitely coming with us. And then, Betsy Braddock. You know what? I'm actually going to put you in 69 aim, 11 movement. I'm going to, Johnson, pull out for just a second. And we're going to put Braddock into the number 2 spot, and then we're going to put Johnson in, and he's going to come in at the far right. All right, so we don't have to make items available because we don't have anything special now that I think about it. And let's take a look at Gordon. I'm happy with this setup. With the laser sight, she's going to have a 75 aim. She's going to get to shoot twice. Her mobility is terrible, but that's okay. She doesn't need to move. She just needs to stand there and shoot things. Johnson, you are going to get, I think, the layout that you have now. Because with a 79 aim, you're good. You know what? I'm actually going to toss an assault rifle on you. 73 aim is good. With 14 mobility, you can probably flank some stuff. 73 aim, flanking, I'm pretty confident with. So the higher damage is going to increase the likelihood of you being able to kill something. Braddock, I think we're going to do the same kind of layout. We're going to do a tack armor, because I don't want you getting your face shot off. So let's go tack armor. We're going to leave you with the assault rifle. Going to give you ceramic plating. And the extra 4 aim, when it's that low, isn't that big a deal. So we're actually going to flashbang you up. So you can move up and throw a flashbang if need be. Pride, let's change your loadout a little bit. Tack armor, yes. Assault carbine, yes. Ceramic plating. And let's do an AP grenade on you. So that, yeah, I'm happy with that. You're going to work out quite well with the team. Harper, let's give you that assault carbine. You're going to get ceramic plating because you have terrible health. Not terrible, but not particularly stellar. And McCoy, you and Harper are basically going to rock the same Casbah, so to speak. So we've got a total of 3 flashbangs. We've got 2 shooters. We've got 1 shooter slash AP grenade. Is that enough explosives? No. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to swap out this flashbang from Johnson, and I'm going to give him a flashbang as well. Or not a flashbang, an AP as well. That way, if we get into a rough spot, we can still lay down some guaranteed damage. It's helpful for breaking suppression. It's, it can kill lower hit point enemies like sectoids. And if we're lucky, it could even kill a drone if worst comes to worst. So, we're going to do that, and we're going to launch the mission. Begin assault. Be right back, folks. My production man, pardon me, give me one sec. My production manager just made me aware of the fact that I tend to rub my hands on my pant legs. So she just informed me that I tend to rub my hands on my pant legs, which causes a bit of an annoying sound. So apologies for that. If it's being picked up by the microphone, I will try to avoid it in the future. This map is a lot of fun. I use this word a lot, but it's a really dynamic map, actually. I like it a lot. My placement, or my starting location, is atrocious. Because as you may notice, there is this glowing doorway over here in the upper right-hand corner, indicating that there's a UFO. And if you look off to your left, there is a building over here that is going to require us to clear that out. So we're kind of put in a position where we have to make a choice. Are we going, and we've also got this fence right here, so we can't just skirt along the back edge to go in and clear the building. We actually have to go up and around the wall in order to come in from this direction. Although I'm pretty sure, dust my eyes deceive me, I thought that was a meld canister right there, so we're actually going to chance it. The allure of meld is too strong. I'm really just hoping I don't activate anything kind of in this midfield or over here towards the UFO. If I activate over here, that's, it's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. We are, of course, going to be careful about this. We're not just going to go rushing in like crazy people. So, listen, I don't need comments from you, madam, about my tactics. My wife seems to think that me rushing in without really thinking things through is a common practice for me. But I mean, let's be honest. When have I ever done that? So I'm gonna actually kind of focus on having Johnson come around here because he's got the best movement. So we're gonna have him come this direction and try to clear this out. Ah, nope. It was all a ruse. There is no meld here. That makes me sad because I could have sworn I saw the flash of a meld canister. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start taking positions to basically clear the building out. We could change tactics and go for the UFO, but at this point, I think we're fine. We've chosen a direction. Let's not lose momentum here. All right. So we'll focus on the building. we're going to check the interior first. If that's clear, we're going to... Well, we knew that there were going to be aliens in that direction because that's where the UFO is. But we're going to clear the interior of the building first, just kind of scope it out. If it's clear kind of on this side, then what I'll probably do is hop up onto the roof and clear that. And we'll move towards the front of the building. We'll clear along there using the roof for the elevated positioning. And we'll drop down and we'll clear the far side of the building from there. But that's the ideal scenario plan, and as we all know, it's never an ideal scenario for long. So let's see here. Let's bring Gordon up. All right. So we also kind of now know that this alleyway is more or less clear. It's not totally clear, obviously. There could still be someone hanging out back there. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and bring Braddock over here to the corner of the building. Same with Harper. Let's move them into a position where they can kind of support Johnson and... Who was this over here? Is that McCoy? Yeah, McCoy. Pardon me. Sorry about that. So, let's get Harper over here. All right, we don't see anybody inside the building yet. That's great. That is not what I wanted to do. I clicked the wrong button. But that's fine. It didn't end up being a costly mistake, so it's all good. We'll fall the folks back here in the alleyway back so that we can support the other team. All right. So the game's trying to remind me that we've got aliens over there, but we already know that. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, Harper, let's move you to this corner. Open up that window, or that door. Okay. So that's actually pretty good news right there. We'll overwatch you just in case there is someone inside the building. Let's bring Braddock around to this corner. All right, so I'm confident there's nobody inside the building at this point in time. So let's bring McCoy and a couple other people up to the roof, see if we can't clear this. If we have good control of the roof and the interior of the building, that's going to make me feel a lot better about moving towards, at this point, what is the top of the screen, so that we can advance along here and we can clear off this side of the map. We are probably not going to get the meld again because we started in a terrible spot and we had to basically choose a flank and protect it. But if that's the worst thing we can say about the mission, then I will consider it a rousing success. I guess one way to look at it is we could bring some people around this side. So if we have a pair of soldiers going in through the alleyway, a pair of soldiers going through the building, and a pair of soldiers going along the roof, then technically that gives us a lot of versatility for flanking and surrounding the enemy and stuff like that. But if we activate a pot of 4 and they're drones or something like that, it could actually be really bad. So rather than try to chance that, I'm actually going to bring Kitty Pryde all the way up to the roof over here, behind this little air conditioning vent. And we're going to play it a little bit safe. Also because we've heard aliens from this far right flank towards the UFO. I really don't want her to be off there by herself and accidentally activate someone that patrols into us. If they want to chase us in this direction, fine. I'll deal with them when they get to us. But I don't want them to activate unless I absolutely have to. So let's bring Braddock up to this freezer. It's nice full cover. I'm starting to think that we might be clear on this side of the map. So, fingers crossed, I guess. I mean, it's partially a bad thing if they're all in the same spot, because it means that we're then dealing with however many aliens we get on a small UFO. Last time it was 7. I've had small UFO missions where it's 12. So if we do end up in a position where we are dealing with 12 aliens, we end up dealing with them kind of all at once. So I'd like to run into a pod here, kind of at the far end of this building, so that it means we are dealing with fewer enemies later on, but I just don't expect that's going to be the case, actually. So that's terrible cover if we do activate a pod, so I'm actually going to move Braddock up to near the dartboards. It's a dash, but it's fine. Harper is there to cover her. I don't want to move Pride up to the edge of the building just yet, because if there's someone right down there, it'll activate them. So we're going to keep using the half cover AC vents, or AC towers, fans. I don't know what these would be considered technically. The AC units, let's just put it that way. And we'll take up position there, and we'll see what we can do. So, all right. Gordon, you can run along the bar. That's fine. You do you. I'm going to do the same thing with her that I did with Harper and Pride. No, that's not Pride. Pride's up top. Braddock, sorry. Braddock, move to the window. See if we've got anybody out here. Nope. Yeah, this may have been kind of a wasted effort. We may not have any aliens in this section at all. It'd be rare, but not impossible. Let's bring Pride over here. Elevated position in this corner cover. Yep. All right. Well, that's fine. We'll take it. We'll get McCoy and Johnson all the way over here with these AC units. And then the last thing we have to do is we have to check these gas pumps right over here. Make sure that we don't have any aliens hanging out by those. So we'll continue going through it. We'll follow the procedure, standard operating procedure. Now that could mean anything. It could mean that they were like right outside the alleyway, or it could mean that they're further away on the other side of the fence. That little noise indicator. So we're not gonna make any assumptions or anything just yet. We'll see what happens. I feel reasonably comfortable bringing Braddock out to this full cover spot, and then I'm gonna run her over to the soda machine. And no activations there, so that's fine. All right, Harper's cleared around this little display stand or this little aisle. So we're gonna get a little bit more aggressive here. I'll start dashing some folks into better positions so we can clear this section next turn, and then we can move on. We'll do McCoy and Johnson right here along this wall. Let's get Gordon up here. She won't have a good spot there, will she? Oh. We'll run her there. Pardon me, sorry about that. All right, so now what we're going to do is bring Braddock around. All right, so we basically have no aliens in this section of the map. That's fine. It's not perfect, but I won't argue with it. In a way, it's better than getting flanked. So we're going to bring Pride down. Now that was risky because I could have activated through the gap in that truck, but it worked out. So let's bring McCoy down. I want to keep Johnson up here because he's got that nice elevated position. So if something does happen to patrol into us, then we're fine. Let's get Gordon out here. And let's see what happens. We've been hearing sectoid sounds from that direction this whole time, so with any luck, they've patrolled and kind of spread out their numbers, so we won't encounter them all in one pocket of aliens. And there is Meld right there, so I guess if we'd been a little bit more aggressive, we could have picked it up, but I don't think it would have been worth it in the long run. I want to bring McCoy to the front of this truck. I'm actually going to bring Johnson on top of the truck. Again, elevated position. It's not great cover if someone approaches from this direction, but hey, you only live once, right? Braddock will bring up. She's not going to be useful otherwise. And then, you know what? Harper, that's a good spot right there inside the truck. So you take that. And let's see if we can't get them to walk into our expertly laid Overwatch trap. The answer was no, by the way, those of you curious. Hanging on the edge of your seats trying to find out what was going to happen. All right, Pride, let's get you up here. All right, no activations yet, so that's fine. We'll take advantage of the fact that the aliens decided not to show up to work today. We'll push in a little bit further. I actually might leave Johnson there just in case we do get some people activating. Or showing up, I should say. Let's get Harper down. I'll leave Johnson there for the Overwatch. Bring Gordon over. Overwatch her. And then I can't quite get there. All right, Braddock, you take Harper's old spot. So it's pretty boring mission so far for all of you. Sorry about that. Was expecting more action inside the building. Quite honestly, I'm used to getting flanked when I start in the middle like that. So it was a bit of a surprise. Not an unwelcome surprise by any means. Just surprising. Like when you show up to work in the morning and your boss is like, actually, you can take the day off and get paid for it. Unexpectedly. You know, you didn't plan for it, but you'll take it, right? So let's keep moving everybody up. We want to keep them all kind of ready to support each other. We don't want them to be too separated out. So we're going to give up on these decent elevated positions, sadly. We're going to get some of our good shooters into a nice spot. Now, one of the things I want to be really careful of is activating this outsider, as always. You never want to do that by accident, because they will hunt you down and kill you one by one. So I'm not going to move straight in this direction. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move towards the middle part of this map, near these pillars, and I'm going to move up to the solid wall here so that he doesn't see our approach. And then we can split into two teams, one going, around one doorway and the other going around the other doorway. That way we can control kind of the activation, which direction he moves. We'll be able to flank him, we can suppress him, we can do all that stuff we like to do. That's kind of the ideal. So we'll see if we can make that happen. Still have no idea where any of these sectoids are, and that's actually kind of bad news. I was really hoping to run into these sectoids early on, because otherwise we're putting ourselves in a position where we are going to get an outsider and a couple of sectoid cronies to back him up, and that's not a winning combination for us, quite honestly. So we'll just have to see how it goes. So I'm going to do something with Braddock. I'm going to bring her up here. It's dashing, but she's not going to have any good cover angle or shooting angles in decent cover anyways. So bring her up there. If we do get an activation from that direction, she'll be able to take some shots. So I'm okay with that. Still nothing. Man, these guys really are like They're playing the long game. I'm impressed. Still nothing. All right, now I'm starting to get a little bit worried because I do not want to activate a UFO full of sectoids. If we get an outsider and like 4 or 5 sectoids, that's going to be bad. My wife is wondering if maybe it's a little-known holiday, the day without an alien. It's kind of like bring your daughter to work day, but in the opposite. You leave them at home. All right. Let's see what happens here. Spoiler alert, probably nothing good. All right, at this point I'm gonna make some suboptimal movement decisions. I want to activate some sectoids without activating the outsider. So I'm gonna push my boundaries just a little bit. And I do mean just a little bit. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. As much as I want the action to kick off and not get overwhelmed, I do not want to move someone out of position and lose somebody to a pair of sectoids because I got a little bit overeager. So let's see what we can do. Take a drink of water. These sectoids just keep repositioning. How much map do we have on the other side of the UFO? We got a little chunk. It's a decent sized backyard, at least. So, I mean, it's possible that they're all back there and not in the UFO, but I mean, I'm not willing to bet my soldiers' lives on it. So, let's bring you up here. Okay. Of course, now we're in a position where we've got kind of subpar cover from a couple of different angles. Okay. This is not a happy situation to be in. Alright, well at this point we may just have to step up to the UFO and see what we can do, but let's not do it just yet. Let's wait a turn. Let's get everybody into proper position. And we're gonna do basically a traditional UFO breach with the caveat that we may end up aborting hardcore if we activate everything in the vicinity. For those of you who are Harry Potter fans, every time I overwatch Johnson, it sounds like he's saying Wingardium. I don't know if anybody else hears it, but that's what it sounds like to my brain. What's making that noise? It's aliens. What else could it be? Of course it's aliens. It's always aliens. I am just not feeling good about this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to bring Gordon over to this full cover position. Alright, fine. Fine. Ah! That's exactly what I did not want to have happen. But we knew it was a possibility. So we're going to disorient. We are going to need to get a little bit crazy here in order to prevent this from becoming Thank you, Dr. Shen. Have to get a little bit crazy, but I don't want to get too crazy. Getting too crazy is the way you get dead. Hmm. That's what I meant. That's how you get dead if you get too crazy. So it's also what I meant when I said I really didn't want to activate every alien on the map. So he's going to be in a flanked position. That's no good. We're going to study her weapon. What do we got here? Do we have any good shots against anybody? We have 50% against him. That's not good, actually. I actually shouldn't have moved Johnson to that spot. I should have left it open for McCoy here. See if we can't get Harper back here. Maybe we can flank that guy. I mean, yeah, I could take a shot, but if I do that, I've got a pretty minimal chance to hit. And even if I do hit, it's going to do minimal damage because it's only a carbine. So I think what we'll do is we will hunker down. We're going to want him to flashbang. We may prioritize killing off this outsider if we can manage it, just because he can do so much damage. And of course, it was one group of 4 sectoids and another of, I think, 3 or 4. 36% chance to panic, and of course they succeed. And of course there's a chain panic. Okay. Well, that's not helpful, guys. Actually, it's kind of the exact opposite of helpful. And okay, that's fine. So they're going to continue to use mind stuff on me. I guess that's to be expected. Harper, 37% chance to hit me with the shot, and they hit me. 37% chance, and they missed that time. I guess the random number generator doesn't completely hate me. 21%? You got to be kidding me. So 21% chance to hit behind full cover. Not only do they hit me, but they crit for 6 and almost kill me. And they panic me. So, random number generators, everybody. This mission is just going to go pear-shaped almost immediately. I can tell. 77% chance, 54% chance to crit. All right, managed to do 4 damage. I'm impressed. Let's get McCoy out over here. Can we flashbang both of these guys? Yes, we can. That's great, so let's do it. Oh, and that was my entire team because the other half are panicking, of course. Well, this is going to be a squad wipe, folks. Let's be totally just straight up about this. Okay, so we're suppressed. Got an Overwatch. All right. 37%. Well, they've been hitting all those today. Nope. Okay, they missed that one. 46% on Harper. Missed with the Mind Fray. All right, well, that's good news. How are we going to get him out from being suppressed? Because they're trying to flank him. 48% on Johnson. That'll kill him if it hits, which it will, of course, hit. So he's critically wounded. So that's our lightning reflexes out of the... Lightning reflexes is now out. That's a bummer. Yeah, I know. He's on Overwatch. I know. But he's also disoriented. So I'm hoping... Ugh, 53%, really? Man, okay. Well, that was a mistake. So she's going to have terrible range on this grenade. I could do 4 there. Do I have anybody to follow it up with? No. Gotta get her into a better spot. Let's do that. That's kind of atrocious. I don't want to waste the AP grenade yet, because if I do 4 damage, he'll heal it. Pardon me. I'm going to hunker. Oh, I didn't realize McCoy was over here. If I'd known that, I would have... Well, now it's too late. Can't quite get there. So here's the thing. If I don't move Harper, he's going to get flanked by this guy. He could easily just move up to this position and flank him. Or he could move up to this position and flank him. If that happens, he's dead, for sure. So, what I'm wondering is if I dash Harper, he'll get that bonus against Overwatch shots for dashing. Now, the thing with suppression in Long War is that if you move and trigger the Overwatch shot that suppression grants you, it's technically at... it's got the opportunist perk, which means that there's no aim penalty for the standard Overwatch penalty. But I think you still suffer the penalty for dashing. It's long range with a pistol. I think this is a better chance than leaving Harper where he is. So let's see what happens. Oh, it's a 77%. That's definitely going to hit. Let's be completely honest. Although it looks like the sectoid is having a seizure of some sort. Or he is stretching his neck. He's doing some workplace ergonomic exercises. One of the two. It's really difficult to say. But, oh, survey says he missed. That's actually kind of shocking. Can you do anything from here that isn't going to get you killed? Really not really. Really not really. So let's see, if I put you here, nope, that's flanked by the sectoid. I don't want to do that. Well, let's overwatch you, see if I can't use you to keep somebody pinned. I should have reloaded my infantry because now she's going to be out of ammo. So, 56%. 56% hits, and of course he panics. So he's going to mind merge this guy. 22%. At least that missed. That's minor comfort. So he's suppressed. He won't be going anywhere. Also means he loses his reaction shot. Braddock, 53% for me is, of course, a miss. So he's going to move, and he's going to flank. Oh, wow, he's actually just going to move twice. That's a bold move, Cotton. You're on Overwatch, huh, you little jerk? Okay, fine. Well, we need to kill this guy. So we're going to take a couple of calculated risks. And by calculated risks, I mean almost guaranteed losses. That's a 44% shot. So hopefully, okay, that missed it. I'm happy with that. I will not complain. 92%, 58% chance to crit. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So now what we're going to do, Gordon, how are you feeling about that little pistol you got there on your shoulder? 95, come on. All right. And you earned a promotion. We're going to have to reload you, like, right away. Who is suppressing? You are, huh? Well, let's be honest. That's probably not going to save us when we get right down to it. Sorry. A little bit runaway camera there. Oh, how are we going to do this? I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run... I'm actually going to run Harper over. I want to try to consolidate forces a little bit. See if we can't take out these sectoids on the far left flank. McCoy is in bad shape. We're probably going to lose him. Come on, Pride, resist this. Okay, thank goodness. We may lose McCoy here, just because we've got so many sectoids still. Oh, okay, he had to reload. 37% that's been hitting all day. Okay, that's a miss. So, all right, so the guys over here on the far right are done. They've used their turn. I'm not confident with 37%, let's be honest. That's fine. You move right there. That's totally okay. 34. Yeah, there it is. Eventually, they were going to hit their 30%. Oh, he's... Okay, he resisted that. Okay. Oh, Braddock, really? Are you serious right now? McCoy... Okay. Well, that's a wonderful chain panic right there. Much appreciated. Let's get Gordon up here. Reload her so she'll be useful again. I mean, I could go there. Is that crazy? I mean, yeah, that's a little bit crazy because these guys could move up to this spot and flank her. I mean, it's the kind of thing we might need to start considering because we're in bad shape, but we can also do that. That leaves this guy back here to come flank us. So no, we don't want to do that either. So let's bring Kitty Pryde up here. Okay, that's a decent spot. I'm happy with that. What we're going to do with you is we are going to not move you into the greatest cover in the world, but we are going to move you into a position where you can use this flashbang to full effect. So let's do that. Overwatch. All right, so the guy on the far end is going to mind merge you. That's fine. Shooting at Harper. Okay. That's 2 out of commission. Reload. That's 3 out of commission. You're going to move only a 58%, but it's a hit. I will take that. That's 3 damage. So he's actually in a decent position for us to take him out, hopefully next turn. 1% shot on you. Okay. McCoy, we need to get you the heck out of here. So that's okay. Okay, so let's see how we want to do this. Braddock, we could really use you hitting something right now. Come on. That looks so good. I could have sworn that hit, actually. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Kitty Pryde over to this rock. So we're flanking, 90% to hit, 54 to crit. Come on. Oh, it's a miss. It just completely, it wasn't even like a, hey, I hit, but I did but I didn't crit. It was just a full-on frickin' miss. Okay. Where is everybody else? Okay, so they're not in decent flanking positions. That's actually kind of good news. Harper, let's get you up over here. It's Overwatch. McCoy, we're going to get you behind some full cover. You're going to take a shot at this guy, 54%, which of course is going to miss. Why wouldn't it? %, come on. And then we're going to Overwatch. Because we cannot hit anything, even in the 90% range. I'm going to mind merge you. That's not surprising, actually. Good shot. I'll take it. Come on. Okay. Overwatch. Mine. Oh, an 83%? You got to be kidding me. So our flanker panics. Oh, and that's a chain panic, so that's good. That's just phenomenal. Come on. Not even close. Which I'm pretty sure means he's going to flank Kitty Pryde and kill her. Nope, he's going to run for the full cover. You have got to be kidding me with this crap. Like, I know they're not great percentages, but I've got to be shooting, otherwise I'm just definitely going to die. And the odds just are not working for me here. Those are decent shots. They're not great. Let's see here. What can we do with this? So he can easily move to here or here, which is going to flank both of these guys. I just need to kill some stuff at this point. There we go, finally. Okay, so Pride's the last person I've got available. 43% against this guy. Sure, take it. Why not? Yeah. She was definitely going to miss on Overwatch, so there was no sense whatsoever. And so there's their 47% shot hitting me and killing me. And there's another 45% shot on their side hitting me and killing me. Let's see, what else are we going to get? 49%? That also hits. And let's see what else we can get. 50% hits, okay? So they hit a 47, a 43, a 46, or a 49, and a 50%. All in the same turn, like in a row. That sounds about right. So for those of you who didn't believe me, and I've missed a 75% flanking shot, so for those of you who may not have believed me that the random number generator is not a friend of mine, here is pretty definitive proof. Like, yeah, sure, I know statistically that's possible. This is a regular mission for me. Oh, so they missed a 46. Let's see what else we've got coming in. 69% Mind Fray. That hit. So she panicked because she failed a 48% panic chance. So it's a 68 and a 48 technically that hit. Someone's shooting at her with a 3%. They miss. Okay. Still got people panicking and everything like that. She needs to reload, so there's nothing she can do. And she can't move because she's Overwatch pinned. He's reloading. This guy's reloading. This guy's shooting and hits with a 36% to kill me at 6 health. Or not kill me, sorry. To critically wound me at 6 health. Another reload. Not that it matters in the slightest. I'll take 2 41s here. Eventually, these odds have to work in my favor. Nope, 2 41s missed. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move Braddock up. Take a 39, because again... Oh, there's a hit for 3 damage. So not dead, but that's fine. He's wounded. Hopefully next round we'll be able to take him out. That's 46% shot against me is going to miss. We've got a... So he's in full cover. 34% against Braddock. So that's a miss. 71%. Of course that's going to hit. And she panics. So now she's definitely going to die. Well, 33% against her. So thankfully that missed. And another 3%. So she's probably okay. I guess she's not going to die because we can bring Braddock around. We can flank this little 1 health guy. Well, I guess we can't flank him, I lied. But we can bring him around to here. That's a 40%? You got to be kidding me. Well, it's the only thing we can do, really. Yep. So I'm just going to be completely honest. I'm going to reload this one. I'm going to do it again. 41% against Braddock. That hits me and kills me. So I'm probably just going to reload this mission, play it again, because this is ridiculous. And of course, a 33% to finish me off. So And you'll have to forgive me, I'm just doing a quick restart so that I can do the mission over again. Generally speaking, I'm a big fan of XCOM, but that was frustrating. Like I said, I knew that we were going to end up with all those aliens all consolidated right there within the UFO. Tried to mitigate it as best I could. Sadly, they were right all within the same area, so that's fine. We're going to restart the mission, and we're going to try it again. And hopefully, the cards will fall a little bit differently. But I think rather than play through it all again this time around, we will take a break for the evening. We'll come back next week, and we'll try it again, hopefully with a clean slate. So thanks for tuning in. If you watched, sorry for the kind of a downer ending there. I promise I won't restart every mission, just the ones that decide that the tactics and the decision making don't matter, and that the random number generator is just going to completely favor the enemies. So we'll just get people into some initial positions here so that we're ready to go next time, and we'll see what happens from there. Ugh, it's really frustrating. And I'll be honest, that's actually the worst luck I've had in an XCOM mission in a while. XCOM 2, that was kind of par for the course, but in just a standard XCOM enemy within / long war play, that's absolutely the worst luck I've had in a single mission. So that's discouraging to say the least. Maybe I'm just not meant to stream XCOM. I don't know. It seems like my luck is worse when I'm streaming the game. So we'll have to consider that as a possibility. Well, we've got some contact on this first round. Let's just go ahead and see what we can do with it. These are not great shots to hit. Great chances to hit, but no, I'm not going to do anything with that either. But both of those guys are behind full cover, so let's try moving people around in a way that we can get a decent position on these jerks. That's not flanked, that's not flanked, that's not flanked. Let's bring Braddock there. Bring Harper there. Bring Braddock or Gordon there. And let's bring Pride right up here. A couple people on Overwatch, hopefully pinning these guys, and of course, completely unlike the last mission, now we've got people right on our landing zone, basically. So that's not so bad. It's better than getting them all at the end, like I was saying before. Okay, so you're going to suppress there, that's fine. Got one more guy to activate. Okay, he hasn't done anything yet. So, is that going to be... No, that's actually not going to be... Oh, that is dashing because it's Gordon. She's got terrible movement. So that's unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Oh, and there's Meld right there, too. So we have someone on Overwatch, but that's okay. We actually don't really worry too much about Overwatch with what's his name here, with Johnson. So let's bring Johnson up. Oh, you're kidding me. He doesn't see that guy? That is the biggest load of crap I've seen in a long time. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to land this AP grenade right next to the guy on Overwatch. That's 3 damage, not enough to kill him just yet. So So then what we're going to do is we're going to take this AP grenade and we're going to toss it at both of them, hoping to kill the guy with 2 health and hopefully stop the suppression on Braddock from the guy in the back. Okay, that worked. Now this is just completely like recklessly aggressive play because I wasn't really expecting to actually play through the mission today. Let's get McCoy over here. You're going to be flanking. I may just flashbang from there, or I may flashbang from there. It kind of depends. 39%, that'll hit him and kill him. Harper, what do you got? 42% hit. And it's all up to McCoy. 71%, let's just do it. Alright, so we cleared that pot of 3 with a little bit of excessively aggressive tactics. We won't quite be able to reach the meld, but we'll get into position to do that. So because we started so close to the building, we're going to go ahead and clear it. Leave a couple people behind to cover this back flank. That was a weird voice. I have to change your voice, McCoy. Alright. So we're going to grab the meld, and we'll call the mission here. I hate to leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger, but let's be honest. There aren't a whole heck of a lot of you watching right now anyways. So for those of you who are, you just have to tune in next week to see what happens with the fight at the gas station, part 2. Finish off this turn and call it a day. Alright. Well, that's that. We're going to save and exit. And then we'll come back next time and we'll play it one more time. Thanks again for tuning in. Again, sorry for the rough mission and the kind of downer ending. And for the occasional coughing. But see you next week. Hopefully you have a good Tuesday through Friday and that you've got some awesome plans coming up for the weekend. Feel free to follow us on Twitter at RavensPublish. You can find us on Facebook. Just search Ravensdale Publishing and you'll find our page. And you can follow along for updates for our streaming schedule. We've got some plans not only for Xcom and other video game things kind of randomly interspersed. We've also got some plans for some live board game streams, both stuff that Ravensdale Publishing is developing, so you get to see demos and play tests and kind of conceptual or proof of concept sessions and things like that. But you'll also get to see us play through published games from other companies that we're big fans of. We just received the Dark Souls board game. We're hugely impressed. My wife just yelled praise to the sun from across the room. So we'll probably end up starting off with that. We may do a little bit of Gears of War. We may pick up the XCOM board game and play a little bit of that, kind of on a campaign thing, or just play that for a few sessions in a row, just so everybody kind of gets the hang of the game, and we go from there. But yeah, find us on Facebook or Twitter. Let us know if there's a game you'd like us to try out so you can see us play it. And thanks again for following. Have a great night. Bye.